Hey guys, how you doing today? I got a couple of plants this month that I did not do unboxings for I don't know, one reason or another. But we had a few nice days and I was just outside trying to get stuff done and just trying to enjoy the sunshine a little bit more, but that my plants come so early through the post office that some mornings I just don't have it in me to do a video. But anyways, this one I got from Ecuagenera. Isn't she gorgeous? Look at that. I just love this plant. It came in really good shape. It was 2-day shipping. This is an Anthurium, and this is Anthurium Quaramolens. I know I'm not saying that right. I will put the name up on the screen. But she is just a beautiful, beautiful plant. You can see the back of her leaf. She's got like the slightest hint of pink, like right up in here. So pretty. She also has pinkish red down here. Now this is a new growth right here. There, that's a pretty good shot right here. That was on there when she came. I've had this plant about 2 months. 2 months, oh my gosh. I've had it for about 2 weeks. And it has gotten a little bit bigger. It's starting to soften up a little bit, so I can tell it is going to open soon. Beautiful. There is a little bit closer up. Now this is more of, it's a heart-shaped leaf, but it's really elongated. I've been looking at her for a while, but I wanted to do some more research, and I did some research on her, and wow. This plant is really cool for one thing, because it's not like most Anthuriums. Most of our other normal Anthuriums, like, you know, the crystallinum or my brain just took a total blank, and I have a lot of Anthuriums, and I'm going totally blank on other names. But anyways, a lot of them are more tropical. They like the warmer weather. They don't like huge temperature changes. And this one actually doesn't mind a cooler environment. It actually thrives with cooler nights. It comes from South American country, rainforest, like Central America and Mexico and some parts of the Caribbean. And it likes the warmer days and the cooler nights, or even the cooler, you know, the cooler days. It's really a great plant, and I thought, well, this thing ought to do really good for me, because in the wintertime, our nights, even here in the house, I mean, they drop a little bit cooler. And I like to sleep in a little bit cooler weather, so that, or environment, I should say. So that really helps a lot. And I thought all my other Anthuriums do really well, even in the wintertime. I don't have any issues. So I thought, you know, gosh, this plant is going to do pretty darn good in my environment. And my plant room stays a little bit warmer. Even in the evening, it can get cooler. But I've been keeping her out in my living room these last 2 weeks that I've had her, and she has done really well. She started bending down a little bit, which is why you see the stakes trying to hold her up, because look what she was doing. See how far she's bending over there? And I really don't want her to do that where I have her sitting, because I have to have room for all of my other plants. So I staked her up actually yesterday, because I didn't want her doing that. This one I staked right away, because when I got it, this bigger leaf, it looks like this one right here was the last leaf that it put out. It's at the top. But it was interfering with the new growth. So I staked that one up right away when I got it, to keep it away from the new growth so it wouldn't hurt it or anything, and give it more light. So, but yeah, this is a beautiful plant, and I love that it can take the cooler weather and it enjoys it. But I can't really say a whole lot about this plant. My God, I've only had it for 2 weeks. I can't tell you how to take care of it. I can tell you I've been keeping it in a west window. When she gets about halfway dry, I water her. She came with moss all around her. I tried to soak it, and I soaked it in a bowl of water, and then I pulled off, you know, as much as I could, but I didn't go crazy. And then I just put a really, really airy mix. I used a little bit of bark, a lot of perlite, and soil. I wanted to keep it really airy because I could not get all the moss off. But eventually that will all disintegrate eventually. And every time I repot it, probably a little bit more will come off. I had a couple other Anthuriums that did that to me, and they were fine. I just have to be a little bit more careful. Now I have her in this cover pot, but what I do is I just lift up. Like yesterday I watered her, so she's pretty heavy. But when she gets about halfway as heavy as she is, or halfway less heavier, I guess. I don't use a moisture meter or anything like that. I pick my plants up, kind of touch them, or even sometimes I can just kind of tip them. But you can't really pick up a plant and determine when you've got, this is a ceramic pot, so that's already super heavy. But yeah, very, very pretty plant. I cannot wait for her to continue growing. I just absolutely adore the elongated leaves. She's got very light markings, streaking, whatever you want to call it. But as this plant gets a little bit more mature, it will get a little bit darker. I'll pop a couple of pictures up of pictures that I found of more mature plants of those, and you can see what I mean by the veining getting a little bit darker. So it gets a little bit more of a silver streaking to it. Okay, now I got another plant. Oh, that's water. I sprayed her all down for the video. But we'll keep her right there. Now, I got one more plant I want to show you. Now this one I think is also very cool. This is a plant that I got off of a guy on eBay. And he was selling seedlings, Anthurium seedlings, which you guys know. If any of you have watched my channel for a while, you know that I absolutely love Anthuriums. And I have been collecting them a little bit by little bit. But this one, when I say it's a baby, I mean it's a baby. Okay. I'm keeping her in this little food container that we got from, I don't know, somewhere. Hard to say. I save a few. I don't save all of them. But I put holes in the lid so she has some good air. And then I've got her in this little, I've got a little bit of water down on the bottom of this. I can't dip it over too much or it's going to spill. But look at this little itty bitty baby in here. Is she cute? Oh my God, she's so little. And then her roots were like maybe well, she's got one big long taproot. Or it's not long, but it was probably about that long. About half an inch or so. But so far, she's doing really, really good. I was so nervous to get her. I talked to the guy and I had like 1,000,001 questions. And so I was like, oh, I don't know, it's getting cold. He said he would wrap her really good. And he did. And she looks really good. Look how perfectly heart-shaped that she is. Oh, and by the way, I have photos of the first Anthurium that I showed you and her roots. I'll put those up somewhere in the video when I'm talking about her. And I think I took video of this, or pictures of this plant too, but I don't know. But anyways, this one is, okay now guys, get ready for this, because this is kind of confusing. This is a cross of plants that he had. Now he had the Anthurium magnificum verde crossed with the ace of spades. Okay, so that was one plant. And then he had a black crystallinum magnum crossed with a Doriaki. So those two plants crossed. Those two hybrid plants crossed. He crossed them to make this little guy. No idea what he'll look like. She, whatever. I always say she anyhow, I don't know why I said he. So no idea what she will look like, but I was trying to see if I could see her root to show you. Even if I did see it, you guys probably wouldn't see it, but I'm not gonna take her. I'm not gonna take her out. I'm not gonna mess with her. But I've had her for I don't know, about a week, maybe a little over a week. I've had her, and she's done really good. I haven't had any issues. I have been, like I said, I keep her in this little container. It's got just a little tiny bit of water in it, not a lot, and then I just set her right there. And then during the day, I just keep the lid on really loosely. I don't snap it down on because I want her to have good air, and I want her to have a lot of humidity around her because she's a baby. But I don't want to get her used to super duper high humidity. She's, you know, obviously has to live in my environment. He was growing her inside of a grow tent with a bunch of other ones that he had. And so I did this and then put holes in it and kept it loose. And then during the day I'll take it off for a little while, a few hours, and then every night when I come in here to shut my lights off, I cover her back up for the night, because we get, you know, it gets kind of cold in here some nights, but I cover her back up, and then sometime in the morning I just take the lid back off and let her breathe and be happy for a little bit. And I've got her growing under a grow light right now, so I think her lighting is really good. But yeah, I'll put some pic clips up. I'll put her right here, maybe you guys can see her. I think she is so cute. She is just so cute. And she is like a perfect, she's like a perfect little heart. You see how perfectly heart-shaped she is? I cannot wait. I'm really excited. I hope she makes it. I've been super nervous babysitting her. I mean, I babysat so many cuttings and everything, but I've never ordered a plant that little. But we'll see. So far so good. She was only $10, and I thought, well, I'll take the chance, because that, if you guys have ever seen the regular magnificum and then the magnificum verde and then the ace of spades, the black crystal magnificum, and then the Doriaki plants that are out there, they're all really beautiful plants. And then I have pictures of the parents he sent me. Well, they were on his eBay when I seen them. And he had the pictures of the mother and the daddy plant. It was so cute how he had it marked, mommy plant and the daddy plant. But I will put those up so you guys can see the actual mother plant and the father plant that he made this little baby from. But super excited. And I do have to tell you guys, I did order, I wasn't going to order no more plants this winter, but we've got like a couple more weeks of really great weather. Let me back my camera up. There, now you can see the plant better. But we had a couple more really nice weeks of warm up where it was like 60s and 70s during the day and only hitting about 50 at night. So Ecuagenera sent me a thing where they were having a Halloween sale, and they had the one plant, I almost said it, I'm not going to say it, but they had the one plant that I had been looking at, and every time I go to order it, it would be out of stock. So finally they had this plant that I just got, which should be here in a couple days. They should be sending it out tomorrow, and I got 2-day UPS shipping. But oh my god, I cannot wait. I have been wanting this plant for a couple of years now, since the first time I seen it on somebody's video, and I just about flipped out. It was really hard to find, and when I was finding it, oh my god, it was so expensive, and I'm not spending that kind of money on plants, and I refuse. If I can buy a cutting or a baby like this little sweet thing, so cute. But you know, that's the way I go. I mean, I'm not saying I have never spent quite a bit of money on a plant, because I have several in my collection. I think like 3 that I've spent like $50 or $60 on. But sometimes that's the way it goes. But I don't have a lot of those plants, because I don't like spending that kind of money on something that could just croak at any time. But when I feel a little bit more secure with how my certain species of plant or genera of plants are growing, then there's been a couple times where I've spent that kind of extra money. But I don't have money to burn, so I have to be careful. But, and I like for growing my plants from small. It's so much more rewarding to grow a plant from a baby than getting a big huge plant, and you know, I love that process. That is what growing is all about. But, so anyways guys, that is it for this video. I am going to let you go, and I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.